Hello everyone, I'm back with another Reddit Addicts episode. If you find my videos entertaining, please kindly subscribe and like them. Thanks to everyone for your suggestions and kind notes. Now, let's get started with today's exciting stories.
My cheating wife cheated on me multiple times. She'd sworn fidelity and then betrayed me again. Wife and I got married in 2018. I worked as a paralegal and started my own side business, and when she got pregnant I bought a house in her family's city, and eventually lost my job, so from 2018 to 2020 I was essentially in grind mode, working a low-paying job and hitting major hours of overtime each week just to make sure the house, wife, and child were secured, 80 to 105 hours per week. During this time she was not working. She said she was, but in 2019 I learned she was not and was staying at her parents' house, in order to make it seem that she was working. 2019 to 2020 my business began to grow and started to match my day job's income, so I stopped working overtime. She got a job at a factory and she was happy to finally make her own money. We didn't have sex a lot, but because the kids and stress. In 2021 I got my first major business contract, $250,000, and I was extremely happy because months before this we were forced to give our newborn baby up for adoption because we simply could not afford it. She has 3 kids from her last marriage plus 1 with me, plus I have 1 my own. I get half the year. 5 kids in a 2-bedroom house with both of our cars 12 years old and reading 200K on odometer. It just wasn't plausible for me to be able to carry all the expenses for the year or 2 while she recovered and prepared to return to work. 2022 I doubled my business income, $500,000, and took her to trips/vacations every few months. I stay home with the kids and am being a great father. I told her she didn't have to work anymore, but she insisted on working because she likes her job and doesn't want to have to ask me for money. So I essentially was a stay-at-home father, cooking, cleaning, watching the children, but I still paid for all the bills, mortgages, cars, even employed her brother that came from prison, and paid her sister's college tuition. We still never had sex, and she began working longer hours since 2021. In September some girl messaged me saying she works with my wife at the factory and said she cheating and texting guys. I confront my wife, she denies it and even told me I can drive her to and from work to prove it. So for 4 weeks I drove her to and from work. While I drove her she went to work later. She usually left at 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now it was 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. First week of October I stopped and she began leaving at 3 a.m. and coming back at 8 p.m. October 23rd she said she was going to work on Friday, they always have Friday off, and that she will sleep at her parents' house, that our son is sick, implying she picked him up from his cousin's slumber party, that her other sister car won't start and so she letting her use her SUV tonight, and that her phone was going to die because she has no charger. Obviously, about 40 red flags, so I immediately tracked her Apple Watch. Her phone was off. Checked her parents' and sister house, she wasn't there and they haven't heard from her. Children still with cousin at slumber party also. I went to the location of the Apple Watch and knocked on the door. No answer. I walked to the backyard, was a 1-bedroom trap house with fence knocked over. Went to the window and saw her phone and watch laying here next to her and what looked to be another person next to her in bed. I knocked on the window and began recording with my phone. Her affair partner hops out of bed fully naked and yells at me after whispering something in her ear. He said he would fight, so I went up front to wait for him and put my pistol away in my car. He never came. So I left. The following day I told her parents/family everything and showed the video to them. They disown her. She stays at that guy's house from Thursday night till Saturday night. I still have access to her Apple account and see her messages, the guy saying that she will stand by him, to come back and eat her food, that she clean his house for him, that she will suck his dick, etc. She refused to do any of this for me, said she's not a slave, etc. Sunday he kicked her out his house after getting tired of fucking her. So she crawls back to my house, I changed all the locks and all her belongings bagged up and outside. She stays outside for 5 hours before she gets my son and makes him wait with her out in the cold, so I let them in. I don't speak with her until Tuesday. She said she only sleep with him one time, that they work together, and been talking for a week. She did it because I don't show her love. They've been friends on Facebook since July, and her brother confirmed that he's been to his house to drop off food several times with my wife but didn't know who lives there. She said there are 2 other guys she talked to at her work but that she only sent them nudes and sexy but never got physical. Despite trying to hook up 5 times this year, they never were able to. She said they all don't have a car, so she's give them money and rides to, from work. She promised that was all her cheating, and she never cheated before this year. The next day I messaged 10 men who she works with and have as friends on Facebook, offered them $500 cash for admitting and providing concrete proof of her affair with them. One responded showed photo of her meeting him at hotel August 10, 2020 when she had COVID-19. Another said he has no proof but admits to having sex with her in 2019 a few times and was able to verify her tattoos. Other men did not respond. She denies anything happened before this month. That this was the first time she got physical, and that the other was sexting, which she doesn't see as cheating. And she only did this because I don't show her love or attention. Yeah. Typical. I knew that was going to be the excuse. I told her I'm sorry and that I understand, but I won't forgive or forget this. Halloween I felt petty and rented a lime green Lamborghini and went to her work with my son to drop off papers. When her co-workers came out, end of work day, everyone walking to car, about 60 people, and asked her why she didn't tell them her husband was rich and handsome, I shouted because she was too busy fucking XXX, and now she's getting divorced, so they could all hear it. She begging to make this work, to give her another chance, said she would quit her factory job and be a stay-at-home mom. Made me laugh that she thinks I'll reward her with that. I told her to stay working and save up to move out by my birthday in December. That I would file a divorce and she can have the house. She signed a prenup, so no claim to business. She said she would kill herself before losing me and that she still loves me. I told her I don't feel anything for her and beyond my son IDC about her or her other kids. Thoughts? I don't want a used wife, even though I understand what made her cheat. If she cheated because I didn't show her attention while I was working long hours building a secure foundation for our family, I already know I won't be able to show her any kind of love without remember all the dicks she took past, present, future. Should I go through with divorce?
We hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video. And before you go, please be sure to subscribe for more.